Hello everyone and welcome to VCE Business Management. This is an introduction to the first area of study of Unit 1, the business idea. For this topic, I'm taking an experimental approach with curating content for this class. I will be making some topic-focused videos which will then have some multiple choice questions at the end, to which you will select an answer by clicking on the link that appears in the video's end screen. When you get the correct response, you will be given the next question, to which you will repeat this process until you get to the end of the sequence of videos. If you get a response incorrect, you will be given some feedback and linked back to the original information video to review the content and retake the questions. For this functionality to work properly, it works best if you are watching the videos on your computer on the YouTube website or on the YouTube phone app. The linking of videos does not always work when the video is watched through an embedded source. The idea of this is to create an interactive revision tool to help aid you with your studies in this course and to prepare you for the upcoming SAT tasks and exams. Since this video is only an introduction to the course and some background knowledge for business, there will only be some basic questions to prepare you for the functionality of how these videos will work. However, it will still be testing the information covered in this video. So with that out of the way, let's get into the learning. As a means of introducing the area of study, let's first have a look at the outcome description and the key knowledge involved in this topic. The outcome for the business idea is describe how and why business ideas are created and developed, and explain the methods by which a culture of business innovation and entrepreneurship may be fostered in a nation. Basically, by the end of this area of study, you should be able to meet this outcome. To understand what this entails, let's briefly look at the key knowledge that you will cover in this course. This diagram has been broken into 9 main focus points, which are the personal motivation behind starting a business, such as the desire for independence, both financially and personally, to make a profit and to fulfill a market and or social need. The importance of goal setting in business, the characteristics of successful business managers and business entrepreneurs and how these characteristics contribute to business success. The importance of business concept development, the relationship between business opportunities and business concept development, market research and initial feasibility studies, the contribution that businesses make to the economic and social well-being of a nation, the methods by which a culture of business innovation and entrepreneurship may be fostered in a nation, such as government investment in research and development, council grants for new businesses, business mentorships, school-based educational programs in entrepreneurship, and the creation of regional business startup hubs. What I found is that many students actually have a bit of an understanding of these areas already. However, it is important that you do study them in the context of this course, as it is in this context which you will be being assessed. Finally, just as a means of giving you a bit of background knowledge about business, a business is any activity that is conducted by an individual or individuals to produce and sell goods and services that will satisfy the needs of society, with the main objective of making a profit. As well as making profit for owners, businesses make important contributions to the economic and social well-being of our nation. As you study this subject, you should realize that businesses can be classified in a variety of ways. The 3 broad categories by which we classify businesses are size, sector, and business activity. Now let's have a closer look at these 3. Firstly, business size. Business size is quite a confusing term because it could mean a lot of different things. If you were classifying a business by its size, it could mean the number of employees. For example, in Australia, a business is considered small if it has less than 20 employees. However, it has up to 200 employees, but more than 20, it is considered medium size. And anything above 200 employees is considered a large business by the Australian Bureau of Statistics. The largest private business in Australia by number of employees is Woolworths, with approximately 220,000 employees, making it around the 200th largest employer in the world. This title for largest employing business, it used to belong to Wesfarmers, but that changed once they sold off the Coles Group to become its own separate business. Size can also mean the number of owners. Bigger businesses tend to have shareholders, and this numbers in the thousands, whereas a very small business may be just a sole trader or a small partnership of owners. Other categorizations of size could include amount of revenue, number of locations, management decision making, legal business structure, value of assets or market shares. While some of these terms might seem a little bit unfamiliar at the moment, they will become clearer soon as we go through the course. I suppose the main takeaway here is that when discussing the size of business, it can actually mean many different things. Next, we have sector as a means of categorizing business. Now, this can be a little bit confusing in this course because we often use the term sector in the context of discussions around business activities. But for the case of this part of the course, think of sector as being either the public or the private sector. The private sector is basically comprised of all the businesses in Australia, which currently numbers around 2.3 million entities. So anything from Woolworths, BHP or Westpac down to your local hairdresser or your side business selling video games on eBay. On the other side is the public sector, which is basically made up of entities that are run by the government as businesses. There are approximately 400 of these in Australia, so numerically they are not as big as the private sector. However, they still tend to employ a lot of people. These entities have a special name. They're called Government Business Enterprises, or GBEs for short. You would probably recognise a few of these, such as Australia Post, NBN Co, the Reserve Bank of Australia, and VicTrack, to name a few. Interestingly, a number of private companies are former GBEs, including Telstra, Medibank Private, and the Commonwealth Bank as a few prominent examples. The third and final way in which we can categorise businesses is by business activity, or in other words, what industry a business belongs to. The ABS has 20 broad categories which it puts businesses into. Looking at the figures on the screen, we can see that the industry or business activity with the largest number of businesses is construction, whereas the smallest is electric, gas, water, and waste services. The fastest growing industry was transport, postal, and warehousing, whereas the smallest growing was agriculture, forestry, and fishing, which saw a reduction in the number of businesses. Okay, so that's the content for this video. So here is your first question. You can go back and replay this video if you would like to go over some of the information again. Remember to click the link at the end of the video that corresponds with the response you would like to make. If you are wrong, you just get brought back to this video so you can review the content again and have another go. All right, good luck. So question 1, how many employees does a business need to have to be considered large? Over 20, over 100, over 200, or over 300? Select your answer on the screen.